Okay, right. So I'm just going to share my screen with you as well, just so we can catch up and make sure that we're all up to date with what's actually happening here. So let me come to this one. Okay, so as we're working through this, obviously we've got assessment task 2. If I want to go to assignments, assessment task 2 is here now, and you can start reading about it. It's also got the notification and the journal scaffold there as well, if you need to actually get into that work. Here, when we're looking at the marking criteria here, this is all about your journal and presentation. The reason I'm pointing this out as well is, like, if you have a look, it's only worth 5 marks of the 35. Of the 40. Okay, so it's only worth 5 marks, but there's a whole lot of planning that's in here that goes back into your project. Pointing this out, like, I know when I was at school, presentations were actually quite tough to do, but when it comes down to it, journal and presentation equaling 5. Like I said, it's going to be quite a casual presentation. Don't need to kill yourself over that. What is more important is what you're actually doing with your journal and diary and the actual project itself. So we want to make sure that you've got that priority set up. So there's a lot of time given to you to do the project, but making sure that you understand that this is where the bulk of your marks are going to actually come from. Okay. Now, if I come back to the home page, current topics. Again, we've got the theory stuff coming through. A little bit slow on this one last week. I apologise for that, but I'll make sure these other 2 are up this week so you can keep working through those as well. And the idea is that we're actually starting to see these ideas coming through your project. In your actual, there's your journal scaffold one there that you can actually work through and have a look at. I've actually got that open already over here, which I'll go through in a second. But the other side of that is that I've started creating these instructional videos so that you know how to do each section of the task or the expectation. So here's the first part, title page, mind map. And if you come back to the actual copy of this here, you see title page, mind map. So I'm actually stepping through and doing this topic so that you guys can actually see what's expected of those as well. So down to action planning and the action time and resource planning, as well as the feasibility study. Again, work through these. These will give you a good grounding of what's actually required and just to get your head around what needs to be done. Okay. Now, the main thing about today, basically that's where it's coming through, getting all the information there. If you miss out on a session like we did last week, and I apologise for that, but life just went berserk, the work will still be coming through, and it's expected that you keep on going through and doing the work there. All right. Straightforward. Any questions at all about that? No. I know I only just put the videos up. I know that there's only 2 people that have looked at them so far. I know there's 9 in the course, so someone's not working. What I'm saying is just be aware there's a whole lot of analytics that are actually coming out of this, and people know who's doing the work and who's not doing the work. And you'll see that analytics later on when you're actually doing your own courses. The idea is that's where a lot of feedback's going to come from. So make sure you keep up to date with tasks. Okay, let's just have a look at this IPT page so we can start to get a feel of what you should be developing. Forget about the content at the moment. We're looking at this as the layout and the setup of it. Part of the actual task in your diary, and I'll just come down here. It's the action planning, resourcing. Let me get rid of that. That's not needed now. Move that out of the way. Okay, so here, like, once you've actually got your idea, you actually need to start mind mapping what it is that you want to actually teach. Develop the prototype. I'd actually say that in some ways your prototype is actually making that project as well, that thing that you want people to actually learn. There's no doubt about it, when you're actually coming into designing a new project as a teacher, if you haven't done it, you're going to find you're going to there's all little mishaps and troubles that you're going to come by. So I'd actually say within the time as well, make time so you can actually do the project yourself to test that it actually works. From there, you can actually start to do surveys, research, and start to move down through it. What I'm actually looking at is this hierarchical chart. And it's like when you're developing websites, again, we know there's a web page, and then off that web page, you've actually got your different links. And that's what you've got to start thinking about. If we come here now, oh, get out of there. Sorry, I'm having trouble with a drop-down bar. This one here. Right. If we can have a look here, if I was drawing this, I'd have my home page, and then I've got links to current topics, syllabus, assessment tasks, and archived learning. So this is like our jump-off page. It's where we actually start and know where we're going to go to from here. So the idea is, where do you wish to link to? It's what you've actually got to start thinking about here. Course contents, just a little blurb about what you're actually going to be doing. Key links, if there's things that you think are quite important that people need to know about. And then contact information. And again, for this one here, you can actually just have your own email address there. I'm showing this as a sample as like, this is the standard that we're using in the virtual school. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. The main thing is, you've actually got a place where when people open up, this will be where they jump off to. And what is it that they want to learn? Again, here, you're not necessarily going to need current topics. You might actually just have the one page and leaping off to your actual research. But somewhere in there, you want to, because it's an interactive page, you want to be able to assess the people's learning. Whether or not you need archive learning, whether or not you need syllabus, who cares? But somewhere, directions where to go and how people are going to be assessed, I'd suggest that you really need these two as a minimum. Okay. Now, when we actually come down here and have a look at this again, the announcements will happen automatically. Assignments should be put in there, marks, modules. A lot of this stuff is actually generated quite by itself as you're building the page. So you don't need to waste too much time there. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'm going to actually start building a page here, and I want you to do, I'm going to show you what the process is in doing it so that you can actually have a go at it. I'm actually starting to look at next year, firstly, the virtual school is going to have a new name. It's going to be called the School of Now. That's coming through pretty soon. That's coming from Greg Whitby, who heads up our diocese. The argument is there's a whole lot of stuff going on where we're talking about the next or the future. And the focus from Mr. Whitby's idea is that we need to be talking about now and what we're doing. So that's where the School of Now's come from. One of the subjects I'm actually going to be doing is engineering. So here's the actual page. This is going to be the new engineering one, and I'm going to start building this page here. Right. Down on this side here, I've got pages, announcements and everything. This page one is what you really want to work into. So I'm actually just going to click on that now, and I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to call this one Home. So I know that this is going to be my jump off page when I actually go to it. Now here, this is pretty much a standard like word processing format. I know that like some people can actually work in HTML and edit that way. Go for it if you can. I don't mind how you actually do this, but essentially like here, I can actually add titles and go through inserting media, links to URLs. There's a whole lot of stuff that I can actually do here. However, on the other side of this as well, up the top corner here, it's actually got some design tools which will make your life easier. So I'm just going to click on Design Tools, and I'm going to click on this brown box, which gives us some templates to actually work with. Bless you. It gives you some templates that you can actually work with here as well. So here I can actually select a page if I've already got it started, or I can actually come down and choose a theme. So let's just say I'm going to go to circle left. Done. It's already started to set up for me. The problem with the design tools is that if I now start trying to edit here, it's going to actually give me a little bit of grief. So I want to come down, I want to use the tools for the way that it's actually intended to be developed. So if I'm coming here to customize the banner, text, year 11, engineering studies. That didn't come up anywhere, did it? Hang on, let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look here. So the whole idea here is by adding it in here, it's going to give me, it's going to control it. So if I actually come back now here, I'm going to actually go back to my blocks. I'm going to choose a different theme. Apple one I haven't seen before. It's going to keep all, oh, just changes it, puts an apple in there. I can go to bookmarks. So I've actually got different bookmarks here that I can add. Box left. It's giving me all these different samples, but by typing it into customized banner text, it's going to give me a whole lot more control of what I'm actually doing. Again, here now, if I want to, I can center it. I can actually start playing with it. Notice it does have an actual spelling check there as well. And it just allows us to actually develop it. Once I've actually started to get this done, save and publish. And that will mean that any of the people that I've got assigned as students can actually start seeing this work coming through. Coming back to my home page, you can see there is nothing coming through here at the moment. And I'm going to actually go to my pages. Just move this out here. And I'll set it as use as front page. So now when I come home, didn't do it. Pages. This front page should be right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that. Great example. What I want you to do in the next half hour or so, start to develop your own front page. If I'm actually coming back to this as well, I'm going to pages, add a new page, or in this case here, I'm going to edit. Have a look at the design tools. You can't break anything here, so make sure that you actually just play with it and have some fun trying to get your organization. If I wanted to actually add a picture here as well, I'm going to go on the net, do a search for engineering. Pinch my picture. What looks good? This one here looks good. I'm actually going to download this, save image as. In my downloads, engineering. Coming back to my home. This button here for with the V, it allows you to add all different things here. So I can embed an image, I can put a click view in YouTube. So I'm just going to upload an image at the moment. This was a bit funky on me yesterday as well, slowing down. Going to cancel and do it again. Right, choose the image. It's in my download file, engineering JPEG, open. Here I can start to size it. So I'll make sure I get it right, crop the image, upload it in embed. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And there you go. I started to add the images in where I want them. Obviously my cursor was in that spot. That's why it's dropped in there. And once the image is actually in there, you can start changing around sizes as well for it. Okay, so bottom line at the moment, we need to start looking at developing these home pages. Play with your design tools. Come in and use your templates. If I come here now, edit navigation, I can add navigation to it, and these drop in automatically. If I want to change these terms, I'll change them here. If I want to actually change this as well, I've got a drop-down menu. Just do in today. Nope, no icons. Date. So there's a calendar there. That looks okay. You'll shift the calendar, and it's changing it for me as well. Okay. Play with this, guys. Develop your homepage. You need to think about what these are. Okay. Hit save, and I'll bounce around between the different pages and help you out. I'll stay online as well. I'll stop recording at the moment because that's the main thing that I wanted people to actually get a handle on. And I'll come back around and help you with your pages as well, working in your sites too. So develop your homepage. Might even be worthwhile, like I've always got a notebook here as well, sketching out what it actually looks. You need for this as well, when you're starting to do this, you're actually starting to do storyboards and flow charts anyway. So definitely do your hand drawings, which you can put into your journals as well. All the work that we're doing goes towards marks. So keep blocking it out and filling it out as we go. Any questions about that? Nope. Okay. So for the next 25 minutes up until about 10 o'clock, get in, have a go. And we're going to feed back in a second to see what you would recommend people will actually do with your actual sites. And I'll stay online. So if you want to actually like ask for help or share screens with me or whatever so we can work, please do. Okay? Let's go. Time is yours for the next 25 minutes. Let's get it going.